When it comes to transforming Japanese media to something that the Western market can appreciate, there are two common approaches: translation and localization. Translation is the act of taking the work and doing just that, translating the text from the original language, in this case Japanese, to the new, leaving in all elements of the original language's culture. No matter what the content is describing, it is translated as accurately as possible to pay full respects to the initial intentions of the creator. Localization, on the other hand, is the act of fully making the media localized to the new culture. In the name of localization, teams can change scripts, visuals, and outright lie to the viewer as to what is being displayed to them.
These donuts are great! Jelly-filled are my favorite! Nothing beats a jelly-filled donut!
Now, to be fair, the way I describe localization here makes it seem pretty bad, but there are examples where it definitely makes sense. If you were to look at the popular 1990s Japanese video game Puyo Puyo, when the game was decided to be ported to America, they didn't just translate the game, they literally fucking made a new one. Since the game is basically a puzzle game like Tetris where you fight a cast of computer characters, they realized that kids in America really aren't gonna care about the fucking bizarre characters that Puyo Puyo has. Instead of just translating the shit, they reskin the entire game to be Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, hoping to cash in on the already popular Sonic the Hedgehog series in America. Since the game is basically its own thing, it's pretty well done, and I mean honestly it makes sense because it probably sold way better than Puyo Puyo would have done in America. Another example where localization makes a lot of sense is Pokemon. Japanese Pokemon and English Pokemon have different names so that they make more sense in their respective languages. Names like Bulbasaur, for example, have completely different names in Japanese because what is a bulb to a Japanese person? However, to a degree, all the names are basically translated to some degree. I mean, if we look at Meowth, for example, the Japanese game is Narth, Nyarth, which is nya is the equivalent of meow, and okay, alright, you get the point here. When we consider the most popular type of Japanese media, anime, there's really two common forms that bring this content to the Western markets: fan subs and official subs and dubs. For those who don't know, the Japanese language does not contain swear words. Instead, they have varying levels of politeness which give off the same implication as swear words do in the United States and English. Often with fan subs, they opt to use swear words to bring the character's actions to life more than the official subs, which may just directly translate the phrase being said and put a little spice like a screw you or something. The other major thing that is often seen with fan subs versus official subs is the inclusion of phrases like kun, san, or sama in the actual subline. These serve as honorific phrases which contextually provide comparison of class within the show. When a character refers to someone with sama, it shows a high level of respect, similar to Mr. or Mrs. This leaves a choice for the translator. Do we leave the phrase sama and expect our audience to build an understanding of what this means based off of other shows they've seen or context within the show, or do we localize this phrase to Mr. or Mrs. so that the listener may be able to make more sense of it? Ideally, due to just how many different honorific phrases there are, it's important to leave them in so that you can truly understand the differences, but there is a case where that just really doesn't make sense. If you're translating work for a children's anime or something, then perhaps it would be a better idea to leave it out. With the large amount of companies that are now trying to cash in on bringing anime to the West, this question has a growing level of importance. Where should the line be drawn for what is acceptable in the name of localization, and what content should be expected of the audience to understand on their own? I think the importance comes from what kind of companies we support as members of this community. The thing is, you have to really think, what do you want in your subtitles or your dubs? Honestly, what I'm getting at is you should just fucking learn Japanese if you want to know this shit. It's important, so take your high school classes, don't drop out of school, all that shit. Alright, thanks for watching.